It is showtime, and if I look at all of the buttons right now, Sheri, it looks like we are live with Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn.
Are we live?
That's what it tells me. It tells me we are live.
Oh my gosh, I hope I'm not echoing.
Have you stepped outside today? It's not too bad. A little chilly, not too bad. But I got my deck all set up and ready to sit out there and enjoy the spring weather. Okay, are you all set and ready to go? I am. So, welcome. Uh-oh, you just muted. You just did something to your audio, my dear. You just turned off your audio. So while Sheri's working on her audio, I want to welcome you to Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn. And if she doesn't fix her audio, you're just going to be talking to me.
Are you there?
Oh, there she is. Welcome. Anyway,
I feel like I'm echoing. Am I echoing?
We'll have to ask the people because I don't hear it as an echo.
Oh, good. I hope I'm not echoing. All right.
I am TerryAnn Porter, life coach, TA. I help you to defeat those lies of negative self-talk by changing your perspective. And once you change your perspective, you will start to notice possibilities that are opening up pathways onto which you can choose to proceed in truth. Joining me as my co-host today is...
Good morning. I'm Sheri Berger. I am the owner of Here to There Consulting, and we educate business owners with those tools to balance life, business, and finances because we want to help you create the life and business that you deserve and finding balance in all of that. That is great that I'm not echoing. I was having a little technology as soon as we went live. So
yes, what is today's topic? Today's topic is what is preventing you from taking action? We talked last week about all the things that we want to do. We make our to-do list. We get all these things. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'd love to do that. But what is preventing you from taking that action? You got some suggestions, Sheri?
When I hear to-do list and actions, I have the first question that comes to my mind is, did you time block that? Or did you just write it down? Is it literally on your schedule? And I'm talking let's not move it around schedule. Like it's an appointment. I don't know about you, TerryAnn, but if I know that I have coffee with somebody, I'm really not going to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I know that I have a walking date with myself? Will I cancel that?
That's easy to cancel, isn't it?
But if it's on my time blocking and we treat it like a coffee date, or we treat it like a appointment that it is, then it could get done. So all those things on your to-do list, where are the priorities on it? So people like to call it time blocking. I like to call it priority blocking. What are your priorities for today? And now, are they on your calendar?
My daughters are, they're into their adult years.
Yeah, you can't give their ages. Years. That's not even nice, TerryAnn.
It's hard to believe I have children that old, but I was only a toddler when I had them. Anyway, I know that when they were teenagers, they would say, Mom, can we go do such and such? Is it on your Outlook calendar? Because if it's just something we wrote down, yeah, we might do it. But if it went on Outlook, I mean, that was like set in stone. And that would be their question. Is it in Outlook, Mom? They knew if it was scheduled, it was going to happen no matter what. It made it a priority.
See, and my children are still taught, and they're young adults. I have 3 young adults and 1 grown adult. That's what I call my children. So my baby is only 19, but they got taught even when they were teenagers, right? They get on mom's calendar and they know, and they don't always want to be on mom's calendar, TerryAnn, because they're teenagers. So I will say, hey, we haven't had a cup of coffee. We haven't had lunch. Hey, when are we going to hang out? They're like, Mom, I think I've told you that before. My oldest daughter, who will be, well, I guess I can tell you how old she is because she's young. She'll be 22 on the 28th, right? So my oldest daughter has loved, not really, but she's an introvert. So the pandemic, oh my gosh, I get to go to work and then go home and hang out with my dogs. Is that what I get to do? That's awesome. But my mom is annoying. She was joking when she said it, but being funny, right? She has what is it called? She's a little sarcastic like her mom. I don't know why. But anyway, she goes, but my mom will make me have to come see her. Right? Because if I haven't seen my mom for a while, she's going to ask me, when am I getting on her calendar? But it's not even really that I want her on my calendar as much as I want her to know that she's important enough to be on my calendar. And do you do date nights, TerryAnn?
Oh, we haven't done an awful lot in the past year. But so yes, we do. We do make date nights.
So my husband and I, go ahead.
We work from home. We're together 24/7. What do you need a date night for? Because we have to get away from the house office.
So my husband and I do coffee dates a lot. My kids, when they were teenagers, would say, Mom and Dad just get up Saturday and they're gone. No, we go have coffee. But we've been having a lot of coffee and breakfast on our back porch. And that doesn't matter, except for when neighbors come over and want something from my husband. And I have to remind him that we're eating breakfast and that we're just hanging out. That is pretty funny that you can be at a big restaurant with lots of people and they'll leave you alone. But if you're in your backyard on your porch, your neighbors think they should come borrow some tool.
I like Grace made this comment because, sometimes you do have to reschedule. But when people are always rescheduling your get together, you're not a priority.
Yes.
And you end up really feeling that way as well. I understand if something comes up and we can't get together, let's reschedule. But then if we continually reschedule, I'm not really sure that you want to spend time with me.
Yeah, and that's important. But more importantly, what I was trying to get at is we are talking about today why we're not getting stuff done on our to-do list. Mm-hmm. I'm in the process of writing a book. If I don't time block when I'm writing, when do I write? And guess what? Writing, anybody that's ever written a book, sometimes you're going to time block to write and you might have a writer block. But what are you doing with that time? Are you brainstorming? But if you make yourself have to do that time, right? And then I time block walking. I usually go for 2. I used to walk 3 miles, but I've had some health problems. I got to get back up to that. But my point is I time block to walk, work out or walk and if I don't do that for a day, I've noticed my energy level. I've noticed, right? I time block to do Bible study, drink my coffee, do my Bible study in the morning. So what I'm talking about is those things are on your to-do list. Now, walking and maybe Bible study are the things that you do to energize yourself so that you can write your book. But what is that one big thing that you want to get done, right? And what's getting in the way? And what were we talking about this morning, TerryAnn? I have a book. I have a coffee cup that says, let your faith be bigger than your fear. Because how many times is it fear?
Oh, fear's a big thing to stop you.
Yes, it will stop you. And even if it's on your time block, then you're going to say, oh, like right now, I'm just going to be honest with you. My office needs cleaned and I really need to do that. And it's on my time block. But right now, when I look at what my lists are, now my desk is staying clear because you can't work without it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I just got back from a trip and I just feel like I need to get my office and it's on my priority list and it'll be on my time block. I promise you, it's going to get there. But right now I have bigger, what did we talk about last time? Frogs to eat. I have bigger things I have to, not that I have to get done, but I have to get done because they're on my to-do list. And if I don't time block them, they're not going to get done. So do you know what I love doing, TerryAnn?
What's that?
Hanging out with people and having coffee and networking. Are you shocked?
No, really? You want to spend time with people.
I love people. No. Can I just go hang out with people all day?
Well, you can, but let me tell you something. If you do, all those other things on your to-do list, will haunt you.
You think?
Yeah, they do.
Those could be squirrels all day long for me. I could be like, oh my gosh, you know who's going to be? And they're meeting for coffee and I want to be there. And then I have another problem with my time blocking. I'll just be honest with you. My husband claims I collect people. I don't even understand. But like this afternoon, I think I'm invited to like 3 different happy hours and I have training. So I could ditch my training and go to these more fun things. But I'm pretty sure I should go to my training. What do you think, TerryAnn?
So how do you decide in all that then? Okay, I've got 4 opportunities tonight. I would love to go to each one. How do you decide which one to do? Or maybe you don't do any of them.
Do you do your scheduling on Sundays for the week?
No.
You don't? I always do it like Sunday night or sometime on Sunday. And if it's not Sunday, it'll be Saturday. But I call myself a pre-empty nester. I guess I'm an empty nester, but in a pandemic, like a boomerang, they send those college students back. So depending on what's going on with my family, I find a time throughout the weekend that I sort of time block for Monday. And then I come in my office early on Monday and I time block. But I'm not going to TerryAnn block. I'm going to Sheri time block. And then I'm not going to chase after Grace and Allison. And I can love all you people, but I can't chase all the right. So you need to time block what is on your priority list. What do you need to get done? And then how can you get it done? So that's how I do it. I don't know how do you do it, TerryAnn, every week? What are your steps in doing it?
The first thing is I know something that is regular. It's on the calendar.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is on the calendar. I can't get away from this one.
Yep.
There's a couple of networkings that I do. They are on the calendar so that as things come up through the week, I can look at the calendar and say, no, I'm not free there. Can we meet at such and such a time?
Well, can you meet at 9:30 on Wednesdays?
Well, let me see if I can rearrange my schedule.
No, my point is, people want to meet at 9:30 on Wednesdays. TerryAnn, what do we have to tell them?
I say, I'm sorry, I'm booked then. And I don't, although yes, I will tell people, hey, I'm doing a live. Come on and join me. But the thing is, I have to remember too, I don't have to tell them why I can't meet them. I am busy at 11 o'clock on Thursday. Can we meet at 12:30? Then I have to put it on the calendar, because if I do not put it on the calendar right away, I will tell you, I forget things. If it's not on my calendar, I can forget things. I just have, the ping pong balls get bouncing around in the head. And for every once in a while, the one that says, hey, you're supposed to be doing this, that ping pong ball goes to sleep. So I have to have it on my calendar. If I put it on the calendar, I will take action. So for writing a book, yes, it has to be time blocked, because now it would cause me to take action. I need to work on a project management for something that I'm doing for someone. That's on the calendar, because I have to be able to I've been spending all this little time doing this piece, this piece, this piece. I need to concentrate on it. So it is going on the calendar as a time. And I find out
your idea. You said that you've went to the coffee shop to disconnect.
Yes.
And what I've been doing is I have an upper bedroom that I guess now it's going to become who knows? Anyway, my point is I have an upper bedroom that's sort of a spare bedroom, right? And if I go up to the upper bedroom and I disconnect from the internet and I take my laptop up there and I bring my coffee, it's like a coffee shop. Because in the pandemic, I started going, I'd go to the coffee shop or I'd go to the library. Well, we couldn't do that for a minute here, right? Right. And now we can, but do you have to wear masks? Do you not? You know what I mean? Do you want to go to the coffee? You know what I'm saying? You have to figure all that out. But where do you need to go to get away? Right, to do your homework. My daughter was home, I don't know which weekend, and she's like, I need to get out of my bedroom and I can't be down in the basement and I got to work on my homework. And sometimes I got to move somewhere else. And she's only 19. And I go, you are absolutely right. And then she couldn't believe I had upstairs all set up where you could have a little. I said, well, that's for writing. That's for writing my book. And then I have a daughter moving. Anyway, I have a daughter moving back in. And so she's moving downstairs. So we had to move the spare bedroom upstairs. But I'll tell you what, I made sure I still have my writing corner. And I told them, no, until I get the book written, this is my area. Nobody in the house, Dad and I should only be here. Anyway, my point is protecting. What is it called? Your
protection space.
Yeah, your space, your goal of what you're trying to get done. Just telling people no. But of course, we'll talk more about that next week. But yeah.
Allison has said, you put it in Outlook. Do you print it out? For myself, I used to print it out. I don't anymore. I do set reminders. Most of my reminders I have set at 1 hour prior and 10 minutes prior. And then my phone will always alert me, hey, remember, you've got this coming up. So since, used to be, we didn't have our phones with us all the time. They were this thing that was hanging on the wall or sitting on the desk. Now that we have these with us all the time, this reminds me, hey, you've got an appointment coming up, or you've set something in your calendar. You've got an hour to get ready. And then, hey, 10 minutes till. With those two reminders on, it helps me to stay on top of what I've planned.
So I have a workshop coming up, and I run this workshop, other times on time management, but I, of course, like to call it priority management that I'm running. But people always love to ask me this, TerryAnn, what calendar do you use? How do you time block? What are you? You know what my fun answer is? What works for you? Some people need a hard copy calendar. Some people will be fine. Do you know that with Google Docs, you can color code everything? And so if you're color coding it to the 6 areas of your life that I like to talk about, then you can have it color coded that way. Does that work for you? But the consistency, having a plan, having it on your calendar, setting yourself reminders, right? And what if you really, really don't want to do what you're time blocked to do? How about if you literally set a timer, but sometimes I don't even set the timer on my clock. On my phone, because it's a distraction. So if you literally use one of those egg timers, remember, we used to have those. And you set that.
Use your microwave timer now.
Yeah, you could use an egg timer. You can use a microwave timer. What's going to work and keep you from being distracted? But getting it on your calendar. And when I said that you wouldn't change with somebody else if you're meeting for coffee, why are you changing for yourself? There are times that maybe you would cancel with somebody else. But then somebody brought up, I don't remember who it was, I think it might have been Grace, that if I keep canceling with you, then you think I'm not a priority, right? So if I keep canceling with Sheri, does that mean Sheri's not a priority?
Oh, yes.
So in other words, you say you want to do these goals, you have your to-do list, but when do they become a priority? And when do they become important to do? Mm-hmm. So, and I'm going to tell you, I am writing a book right now, and that is hard. And I have every excuse not to get it done. I'm just going to be honest. And I'm saying this in front of God and everybody, right? You guys have to hold me accountable, right? Because I got to get it done. And I know I'm going to get it done. But if I don't time block it, and if I keep canceling and making excuses and having fear over, what does your coffee cup say?
Oh, I've got confidence in one hand.
Yeah, and tea.
Tea in the other. Coffee. I'm ready to go.
It's supposed to be coffee. She stole that off my coffee cup and ruined it and put tea. I'm just teasing you. But no, my point is fear, right? If we overcome fear, then we get confidence. And even if we have to drink tea, it's great if we have confidence. But I'm pretty sure coffee will give you more confidence. I'm just being
then I will also bring in my Jesus and coffee.
Jesus and coffee. See, what do you have to do to get you motivated? If you need some Jesus and coffee. And I love that mug, TerryAnn, that I got you, that Jesus and confidence, because my oldest son gave that to me. He was like, Jesus, what is it? Jesus and coffee. And sometimes that's all we need is some Jesus and coffee. But then we do have to go on with our life to, to do what our priorities are. And
I think sometimes, especially if we don't want to do it, it's real easy to try to find excuses. I think when it finally comes to that, the mindset, changing your perspective, I'm going to do it. Once you get started, it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. It's the getting started that I find for myself is often the issue.
But how do you feel?
How do you started? I can go.
How do you feel after you get it done?
And then I get it done. I feel so good. So then I look back and go, what was the big deal? Why did I put this off for so long?
But see, right now,
making myself take that first step and starting.
Yep. And remembering the feeling after you accomplish that goal. So I want to hear from our audience. What are some things that you guys find are on your to-do list, but you have an excuse? Oh, did I call them excuses? I'm not sorry. You have an excuse. You have fear. You have that imposter syndrome. I was trying to talk about that. I'm not good enough. Why am I writing a book? Why would I be doing, right? Who am I to think? But is that really true? You need to redirect your mindset. What are your 4 P's, TerryAnn?
Perspective leads to possibilities, opening pathways onto which you can proceed.
So we're talking about the proceed part of getting it done.
Yes.
The jump, the make sure it's done. But if we don't go back and maybe, look through what's the mindset, is it on my calendar? What am I going to tell myself when I make an excuse? Those are just, are they just excuses? Are they, what is it? What were some of the other things that we talked about that could be roadblocks? Fear, imposter syndrome. Oh, people. Have you ever noticed the people you hang out with at times can either lift you up or bring you down?
Ooh.
They either are going to tell you that you can't or they're going to tell you that you can. One of my favorite sayings is, I will, I can, watch me.
I like that.
So it's, I will, I can, watch me. And sometimes that's when other people are telling you, but how many of your cheerleaders, right? Because we talked about people in your life. When I said, I will, I can, watch me. How many people in your life are going to go do it, Sheri? Or how many people are going to say, who do you think you are, Sheri? Which ones you want to hang out with?
Don't hang around with that. Oh, you can't do it. You won't do it. Because you won't. If you hang around with the people who tell you that you won't, you won't.
So you mean we should get around the right kind of people and surround ourselves around that, and that might push us and motivate us?
Ooh, that just might work.
Maybe you could even get a coach in that area that would help you with that.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Find a coach to help in that area.
Oh, I make sure I always have coaches and mentors around me because that's important, right? And also I have friends. I have amazing friends around me, right? That believe in me and support me. But then you have those other people in your life that aren't supporting you and believing in you. And so how much do you need to eliminate maybe being around them?
How do you feel after you walk away from that group of people who've just been naysayers? You've just somehow wound up at this networking meeting, and turns out that the group of people you're with are just a bunch of naysayers.
Why are you going to that networking group, TerryAnn? You're in the wrong networking group.
Have you ever been around people like that? Okay, let's not say networking group. Let's just any kind of a group.
I wouldn't say it was the whole group. I would say maybe it's a few people in the group.
No, the few people that you wound up speaking to, not the whole group, group, but the few people that you wound up speaking. You wound up in this corner with this group of people, and you just can't seem to get away from them. All they're doing is How do you feel when you leave them?
Oh, I feel very, very drained, but I know a thing called walkaway power. But how about if
walkaway power?
Walkaway power is what I call it. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry you're having a hard time. You guys have whatever. Because no matter what I say, right, they're probably not going to change their mindset, because after you've been there for, I don't even know why you're there for 5 minutes, but after you've been there for a minute, you realize that these people just want to be miserable. And so that's where they're going to stay. Or is it somebody that needs to be encouraged, right? And lifted
Now
up?
that's a fine line. That person, do they need to be encouraged, or do they want to stay in the negative side?
I tend to be a pretty positive person, and my husband will claim that people will gravitate, to me just because, I'm going to encourage other people. But sometimes, like you just said, you can get those naysayers or those leeches around you, and you just have to figure out how to, what is it called? Do a walk away power, because it's not helping you.
Walk away power. I like that. I like that word, that phrase.
And next week we're going to talk about, right, when to say yes, when to say no. And that could be with people. That could be with priorities. That could be with places. There you go. Now I got the 3 Ps. I'm just saying, what is that we need to say yes or no to? So that we can focus on where we're going. So I would like people to think about that this week. Because we needed to do next week.
So we came up with, what do we need to do? What's stopping us from doing it? And next week, when to say yes to it, when to say no to it, and how to determine yes or no. I always have trouble with the yes or no. What am I supposed to say here?
Well, I mean, if it's not in line with where you're going, or is it in line with where you're trying to go? So those are some things that we get to talk about next week. I'm pretty excited about that, actually.
Okay. So this week we're going to time block. We're going to prioritize, time block. And if we're not taking action, look at why are we not taking action and start to explore within ourselves.
Yes. And then we can always get those accountability people and people around us to help us move from here to there. Ha ha ha. Or move through the, what is it called? The 4 paths, right? But my point is, who do you need around you too? So start thinking about that this week too. Well, I look forward to seeing everybody next week. What day is next week? Next week is actually going to be
next week is the 21st. It's the day that my sister turns 60.
Oh my gosh. And you said that live.
And wow. I said it live.
Your sister turns 60 on the 21st. That'll be an awesome day for sure, though. And that's an awesome number. One of my dear friends just the other day turned 60. All right, you guys, you all have a blessed day. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the 21st next Wednesday at 9:30.
Yes or no? Choose yes to watching us. Bye.